Good morning, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your first morning video blog of the day for July 22nd, 2014. It's a Tuesday. It's a nice and sunny day going to be in the mid-80s, and the humidity is going to creep up a little. We might get some thunder showers tomorrow. Some news to report. Boston Red Sox crushed Toronto Blue Jays by the score of 14-1. David Ortiz hit 2 more home runs, and he passes Kyle Yastrzemski on the all-time home run list. And the next person he'll pass is Adam Dunn, who's still active, of the Chicago White Sox. And also a special shout-out to Ro Randall, who's an up-and-coming musician. And you could check out work out on YouTube right now. So if you punch in Ro Randall on YouTube, check out her work as an upcoming musician, okay? My first subject of the day is about if the NBA will ever put a team back in Seattle, and they'll be named the Supersonics. Seattle has had a history in the NBA. The Supersonics played in the NBA from 1967 through 2008. They were one of the most successful expansion franchises in NBA history. They had a lot of good players like Lenny Wilkins and Spencer Haywood and Freddie Brown and Dennis Johnson, Jack Sikma, Tom Chambers, Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, and Ray Allen, among others. They won the NBA championship in 1979, and they also were very competitive in the 1990s and early 2000s when they were coached by George Karl. They made NBA championship finals in 1996. They had a rivalry with the Portland Trail Blazers because they're neighbors, and they've had real good teams over the 41 years they were in existence. And they were at one time owned by the owner of Starbucks Coffee, Howard Schultz, in the 1990s and early 2000s. And actually in 2006, Howard Schultz sold the team to Clay Bennett. But Clay Bennett was from Oklahoma City, and he pressured the Seattle politicians and the Washington state government to give Seattle Supersonics a new arena, because the arena they were playing at, Key Arenas, was built in the 1960s, and it was actually renovated a couple of times, but it lacked necessary of luxury boxes, personal seat lights, scene and stuff like that for the Supersonics to be more competitive, because most of the NBA arenas are luxury boxes, has so many personal seat licenses. But the government of Seattle and the Washington state refused. They rejected public money for him. He just got mad and stuff like that. And in 2008, he moved the Seattle Supersonics to Oklahoma City to be renamed the Oklahoma City Thunder. But the deal he did to leave Seattle, and 2 years early from the lease they had at Key Arena, which expired in 2010, but he bought out but Clay Bennett bought out the 2 years of the lease for the Supersonics. In the terms of the deal, that the city of Seattle kept the name Supersonics, and that was the deal. And back in 2012, the government of Washington State and Seattle approved for a new arena for the Supersonics, and an NBA team that's an NHL team, that's an expansion team that's going to be coming in a few years. But the problem is, to get an NBA team, they would have to move an existing NBA team, and the problem is none of the existing NBA teams are going to move out of where they are anytime soon. There was talk about the Sacramento Kings leaving, and they actually made a deal with a businessman in Seattle, Chris Hansen. Not that Chris Hansen who's famous for Dateline NBC, but a businessman, Chris Hansen. The Sacramento deals made a letter of intent to sell to him and move to Seattle, but at the last minute, local ownership groups in Sacramento stepped up to the plate and kept the Kings in Sacramento. And also, there was talk that the Milwaukee Bucks were going to be on the move as well, but the owner, Herb Cole, sold it to local business group owners in Milwaukee, and they're going to keep them in Milwaukee and for the foreseeable future, plus a new arena. Some people said there's been rumors about the Atlanta Hawks maybe moving because they kind of have a new arena, Phillips Arena, but it's 15 years old. But the Falcons and the Braves are going to get new stadiums and parks within the next few years, and the Hawks probably want a new, probably a little mad because they're not getting a new arena. But the Phillips Arena is only 15 years old, and it's like it has a lot of luxury boxes and stuff, and I don't see the Hawks moving anytime soon. So I think the NBA is going to be shut out of Seattle for a very, very long time unless they decide to expand. But Commissioner Adam Silver says the NBA does not foresee expansion in the next few years at all, even if this new television contract is coming up. It's too bad that the Seattle Supersonics are going to be lay doormatted for many, many years without Seattle not having an NBA team. It was shameful because they were like a competitive team, and a lot of people liked the Seattle Supersonics logo. I did. It was pretty awesome. Well, I'll be back later on today for more of these video blogs, and the second video blog of the day I'm going to do is Tom Brady, Pro Football Hall of Fame, and I'll tell you the stats he has and if he's going to make the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Okay, have a good day, Facebook friends and YouTube followers.